everyone, I'm Lydia from Novelty, and today we're doing that On My Bookshelf book tag. What we're going to do is we will take these cups right here, which are pretty cool vlogging mugs, are full of numbers. This one is 1 through 4, this is 1 through 10. So 1 through 4 would be bookshelf 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 through 10, I'll choose 2 of these numbers and then put them together and get that like 42 or 85 or whatever, and then find that book, and then I'll tell you about where I got the book or what I remember about it or a cool story behind it. By the way, can you tell my bookshelves need organized? I just redid my entire library up here except for the bookshelves. I'm not quite sure how I want them organized, like by alphabetical order, genre, color, whatever. So if you have a suggestion, please leave it in the comments below because I would be delighted to hear it. Alright, so first of all, we're going to draw a number for the shelf, and this is number 3, which would be this shelf right here. And then I'm going to draw 2, so it'll be 20-something, 2 and 4, so 24. Okay guys, these books are so cool. This one right here, The Merchant of Venice, was actually number 24, but I thought I would show you the whole stack because look at how amazing these are. These are all of, well, I don't know if they're all of them, but there are a lot of Shakespeare's works, and they were published, or they were printed in the 1800s in London, and I bought them when I was in London a couple years ago visiting their shelf too, which yay, we're finally on the shelf. So 19, last year my family had gone to Florida to help out my grandma because her apartment had been destroyed during a hurricane. It had been flooded and she couldn't live there anymore, so she was essentially homeless. So we went to help her out, and I took a couple books with me that needed reviewed, and so I remember reading this. It was kind of a little bit stressful because we were helping her move and like all of her stuff was messed up, and we're like, what are we going to do? So in the evenings I would snuggle up in my bunk bed at the hotel and read this, and it was pretty cool. Number 2 again. 85. Leading Kidmin. I got it because I was really interested in starting to teach children's church at my church, which is for 3 to 6 year olds, so really little kids. And so I thought, hey, I better read up on it. And a really cool thing about it is I prayed about it for a while. I'm like, yeah, I feel like this is something I'm supposed to do. I read up about it. I talked to my pastor about it, and he's like, yeah, that's a great idea. We'll talk about it later. And so I talked to various people about it, and then nothing happened. And I felt peace about just like, okay, like just letting it hang for a while and being like, fine, whatever happens, happens, because I've done what I could do and I'm not going to bug people about it. And what was really super cool is that after like, it was close to maybe 7 or 8 months later, maybe even 9 months later, that I hadn't talked to anyone about it. The lady at church who's in charge of like the kids ministry stuff, she came up to me and she's like, so I heard you wanted to help out with junior church and maybe do it full time. Do you want to still do that? I'm like, yes, that would be great. And she's like, when can you start? This was in January. And she's like, do you want to start maybe the beginning of February? And I'm like, totally, yeah, that'd be perfect. And just like that, with everything I'd prayed for and dreamed about and prepared for through reading came true. And now I'm doing children's church. Number 4, number 1, so 71. Embers from a Storyteller's Mind by Bob Welsh. This is a super cool story because it starts out soon after we moved to this property, which was about 15 years ago. Some of our neighbors invited us over. They're like, hey, we're just having a little get together. The neighbors were elderly, like in their 70s probably. And they said, we'll have some friends who are coming over and they'll play bluegrass music. And then a friend of ours, he's a storyteller and he's going to tell us a story. And we're like, okay, so we went. And it was one of the first community events we had gone to, and it was so cool because Bob Welsh was there, and he is a storyteller, like the coolest kind of storyteller there is. He writes these amazing poems. They all rhyme and everything, like a poem, like, you know, a cool poem, but they're these amazing stories, and he'll tell them, he memorizes them, and he tells them with such neat voice inflection, and he has this really melodic voice. 60. We are just getting a lot of the same numbers, and 63, so let's go. The Saggy Baggy Elephant, it's a little golden book, and oh my goodness, I know a lot of kids were like, or a lot of girls at least, were raised on Disney princess movies. I was raised on little golden books. Like, I read so many of these over and over and over again. We had tons of them when I was growing up. They're really good, clean, fun books to read. I bought a whole bunch of these books for one of my nieces before she was born and was like, hey, here's your pre-made library. And at the same time, I brought some of my favorite childhood ones for myself. That's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've read any of these books, I would be delighted to hear your thoughts, and make sure you let me know how you think I should organize all of these books. Thank you.